Hello, and welcome to episode number 4 of Half and Half Gets Good at Age of Empires. Maybe. Eventually. Today we're going to be changing it up a little bit. In the first 3 videos, I played as the Ethiopians, who are an archery civilization. And today we're going to play as the Lithuanians, who are a cavalry and monk civilization. They have a few bonuses that I think are going to really help us out. They start with an extra 150 food, which I believe will help me get through the Dark Age a little more smoothly with less idle time, which is something viewers of the channel know I have struggled with. Their spears and skirmishers move faster, and every relic, in addition to giving them gold, also gives extra attack to their knights and their leadies, which are a unique unit that is also cavalry. And so we're going to jump in. We will not be building archers this game. We're going to build cavalry, and we're going to try and play in a way that we simply haven't played on this channel before. So let's dive into the game and let's see what happens. And here we are in our game. I am in the blue. I'm the Lithuanians. As I said before, we're playing against a guy named the Wolf, who is playing as Khmer. And so we'll dive into this game. We'll see what it looks like for us here. We're going to speed it up at the beginning as we just go through the scouting and the initial parts of our build order. And so we want to find our 8 sheep. We want to find our 2 boars. We want to find our gold and our stone. And so we're just scouting around. We're constantly going to be making villagers as we try to find those resources. And then we want to head out and find our opponent. The goal is to get to feudal age as quickly as possible so that we can get out a few scouts. We want to get scouts into their base before they're able to full wall their base. And then from there, we want to do a little damage, wall up ourselves, and then we want to get to castle age so we can build knights as quickly as possible. And so you see so far we have a 1 villager lead. We have 2 seconds of idle TC time versus the 49 seconds that the Khmer player that the Wolf has. And so we will continue to scout. I'm going to bump it down just 1 speed, so we're still in the fast speed here, but we've got a lumber camp established on 1 wood line. We are dropping a lumber camp on the 2nd wood line. And pretty quickly, we are going to be clicking up to the next stage. And in fact, we are now on our way to feudal age. 21 pop. We have a 2 villager lead as he is now clicked up, and we're going to be up to feudal age about a minute faster. And so we send villagers to build a house and to build a barracks. A barracks is not something we anticipate building troops out of, but we have to have one to be able to build a stable. And now we made a mistake. I ran my scout under their town center and he got killed, but now we know exactly where they're at. So we've got 2 building the stable. We are already queuing up more villagers. We're building a house and we're walling all the way to the end this time. If you saw our last video, you know that we learned that a wall with a hole is no wall at all. And so we are wanting to make sure that we full wall this time as we drop walls up here to the gold, walls to the corner here, and we're going to drop walls down here. And so we are going to wall everything up, and we have 2 scouts produced, and now we're going to send them out. We're not going to wait until we have all 5 of our scouts. We set our rally point up here near where they're at. As you can see in the shadow, he's starting to wall up, and we're just going to grab these 3 scouts and we're going to head in and we're going to see if we can do some damage. And so we catch 1 villager right here. He is going to go down as we block him with that scout. So we have 1 villager kill already. We notice a couple of villagers moving off up here. And so we're going to go chase them down as we continue to produce scouts. And all the time we are tabbing back to our home base and we are producing villagers. We're at 1:20 of idle TC time now, which isn't ideal, but we've got 3 villager kills. Villagers take 25 seconds apiece. And so we have essentially covered our idle time by killing some of their villagers. As we go a little idle here, as we go back home to fix our base, we're now getting some people on gold. We are full walled. We've got a couple idols that we need to fix, and we're starting to seed farms so that we can have that constant food production that we need to build our army. And so he's scouting around our base here. We're going to drop a blacksmith. We want to get the armor upgrades for our scouts. And so armor upgrades are most important for cavalry units, and I see now that we have 2 sheep out here that we never even brought in. I thought we ran out of food early. I never even noticed this in the game. But so armor is more important for melee units, while attack is more important for ranged units. And these are melee units, so we are going to prioritize armor. So we're being pursued by 2 scouts and a spearman, but we can outrun that. And so we're going to run down into the eco here, and we are looking for another villager that we can take out. And so we stop to exchange hits here, and he's going to run off because we have the advantage. One unique thing about the Khmer is that their villagers can garrison in houses to protect themselves. We pick off another villager at the cost of a scout. That's a trade we will take. And now we're going to come over here to the berries. And we're going to attack this villager, and she makes it into the house. And I forgot that that was something that the Khmer could do, but that makes it a lot easier for them to protect villagers. So we run up here. We're going to surround this villager and wall her in. We get another kill. And now we're just going to go snipe this sheep so he can't get any food from that. So far we have lost 2 scouts, but we have taken out 5 villagers, which is huge for us, all while only idling our town center for 1 minute and 29 seconds. And so we're going to set them just to run to the corner, and we come back home to fix our base. We're dropping a market now. We've got too many villagers on gold. We've got 10. We should really only have about 5 or 6 for this build order. And so we're going to come back and we're going to start to fix our eco while we just run his scouts into the corner. And we're pretty pleased with what we did at the start of that with raiding his eco. And we notice right here that he got a scout into our wall. It doesn't look like there is a hole there, but apparently there is a hole. And I did not notice that in the game. That could have been disastrous if he had an army that he sent in there. But right now we've just got the 1 scout running around the base, and we do see him, and I wondered how he got in, but I never was able to track down where it came from. And so we've split our scouts. We're sending one leading away, and the other one we just sent to go scout. We're just trying to see the rest of the map now. We're not really concerned about doing damage with those units. He's still scouting around our base here. He's starting to attack a villager. That's going to draw our attention, or at least it should draw our attention. And apparently it doesn't. So he gets a free villager kill here because we just weren't paying good enough attention. But he's going to come back in here instead of running out. And this time we are going to notice. So we're just going to send our villagers to take out that scout. And so we'll limit the damage. We only lose 1. As we win a scout war on this corner, and our other scouts just wandering around the map somewhere. But we have now clicked up to Castle Age. The important thing here is we did not overinvest into scouts. We made 5. We got our money's worth. We killed 5 of his villagers. And so we're considering that a success. We've only idled our TC for 1 minute and 30 seconds versus 5 minutes for him. We are about halfway to Castle Age, and he hasn't clicked up yet. Now he clicks up, but we've again got a lead on him here. And so overall, we're feeling really good about the opening of this game, especially the fact that we have a 9 villager lead, and we will be up to Castle Age first. So while we're going up, we can't build knights yet, but we can research bloodlines, which will give our units more hit points. We have discovered that he is down here mining stone. And so we are not crazy about the fact that he's already out onto those resources. Now, if you will remember, one of the big things that we get as a bonus is extra attack for up to 4 relics that we pick up. And so there's a relic here, a relic here, a relic right outside our base, and one up here that we have found. We're not sure where the 5th relic is, but the 4 is the limit. Oh, and here's the 5th. And so we want to prioritize getting these relics. As our eco is a little messed up. We've got 23 on food, but only 7 on wood. We don't have the wood that we need to be able to build the buildings that we want to build right away. And so we're going to start to correct that. We're building some houses over here. We're building a gate so that we can get a monk out to pick up relics. And now we're sending our 2 remaining scouts. We're going to send them down here to try to disrupt this stone as we start to make villagers. And there you see us buying wood for gold, which is not something that you want to have to do. But it's something that we did. And so we're going to come down, we're going to pick off this villager, and we see there's a spearman there who would beat us in a battle. And so we're just going to run away, but we know that that's down there. So back at our home base, we are building a monastery. We want to prioritize getting a monk out early to start picking up these relics. Meanwhile, we are building knights. We've queued up 5 knights, And once we get 5, we're going to go out and we're going to try to raid and see if we can do some damage to him again. We're not sure if he's full walled. We have not scouted his base that far yet. So the monastery is up. We haven't started producing the monks yet, but we will shortly. We've got armor coming in for our horses. And we have what is now a 13 villager lead, a 5 military lead. But we're continuing to have to buy wood as we're struggling to maintain that production. And so we're building a second town center, and we're building it over here on a wood line so we can start to really pump villagers into the wood. We still have not queued up our monk. We're a little late on the game here because we're organizing our knights. We've got 5 knights. We know the front of his base is walled from last time, and so we're going to go around the back and see if we can get in again without tipping him off that we're there. So we still got villagers queued up. Now we finally queue up the monk, and we'll be sending him out momentarily to try to get that attack boost for our knights. And so as we come up to the back, we see he has a market. We see he's just dropped a blacksmith, but he's not there yet. That is going to be villager kill number 7. As we run in, we're going to take out that sheep he stole from us, and we're just going to keep raiding wood lines. We're going to keep going around. We're going to see what we can find as we run back. Every time even if we don't kill villagers, every time he has to ring that town bell, his people stop working, which is exactly what we want. Is we're going to get a few more villager kills. We're going to get this one that's headed to the wood line. We have now killed 10 of his villagers. We've lost 1 of our own, and we are sitting on a 17 villager lead. And now we're going to run out. We could have done some more damage, but we know that our monk's done. We know we need to fix some things in our economy, so we're going to run them out. And we're building houses. We got housed, and so that's what we withdrew to go fix. We still got a scout up here exploring. And momentarily, we're just going to shift queue this priest to just start grabbing all of the relics that are on the map. And when we do that, we're going to gather up these scouts that aren't really doing anything anymore, and we're just going to set them to guard the priest as he takes off for the first relic. And we're dropping houses along the back. We want to get that going again so we can get back to our attacks. We've now got 5 villagers on stone. We would like to get to a castle. We would like to build a castle to protect the front of our base, or maybe up on this hill right here to get that attack bonus. And our knights are still just sitting up here as our priest makes his way to the first relic. So he's going to pick it up. He will bring it back. And then we've just got him queued to go to all of these as we bring our scouts in to guard him so he doesn't get sniped along the way. And now we are headed back out with our knights. And we've got 3 more knights that are being built at the moment as we've pushed our score lead up to nearly 800 points. Our villager lead is at 19 and our military lead is at 10. So we're sitting right outside of his gate. I'm not sure why we're just sitting there. Too many things to click and take care of, but we mess up and we let him see our knights right here. And so we decide we're just going to go test his walls down towards the bottom of the map and make sure they're there. And we spy a villager out on this gold in the front. And here come the reinforcements. So now we're going to have 9 knights out, and we'll take that engagement against the scout. And so this reminds us that, hey, earlier he was taking gold down here in stone. And so we're going to run down and see if we can take care of that. But when we arrive, we're going to find out there's nobody there, as our priest and his entourage of guards heads out for relic number 2. So we split out. Nobody there. That's unfortunate. We were hoping to get some more villagers, but we'll run back and see if we can get into his base again. And notice the key thing for this game so far is we only have 3.5 minutes of town center idle time. Now, that's not great, but compared to what we've been doing, that's really good. You can see the idle town center time that he has. And so that's been very helpful to us so far. We've got our wood income up. We've got 19 on wood now, which is too much. You see us starting to seed some more farms. we have not dropped a third town center yet, which is something that we should be doing. We should get a third town center down. But right now we're feeling pretty good about where we're at. And we're thinking we might want to just go all in aggression in the castle age and see what damage we can do. And so we're coming all the way around the back end of his map. We want to see if we can get in one more time and do some more damage. We find a villager up there and pick her off. So now we have 12 villager kills and a 20 villager lead. And so far, we are loving playing as cavalry. With archers, we've always been a little afraid to move out because we don't have the mobility that cavalry does. But here we're pretty confident we can run away from any fight that we don't want. And so we're much more aggressive instead of turtling in our base. And to be honest, it's been a pretty fun way to play this game so far. As we spy, he's got a castle. He built a defensive castle now. And there is not a way for us through here. And so he now has us full walled, but he still panic rings the town bell and his villagers start to garrison. So even without killing a villager, look at this idle eco time. We have an hour and 23 minutes of idle eco time on him, just from him ringing the town bell, compared to only 13 minutes of our own. And so we see his pikemen. We're going to run away because pikemen are hard counters to our horses. And so we don't see a need to take this fight. We thought we'd take those two. Now we think, let's run up on the hill and we'll get the hill bonus and maybe we'll attack. And he decides better of it. He goes for the hill, and then we decide we're just going to run back in. Now up here, we've got an engagement. He's sent a priest up for this relic. This is where us guarding our priest is a good idea. We take that out. We're going to secure that relic for ourselves. That will be relic number 3. This is the 4th relic that we want to get, and here is number 5. We would take them all, but we're just going to camp here on this one to make sure we get it. Meanwhile, we have built 2 stables in front. We want to be able to create more and more cavalry. We're also building an archery range because skirmishers will counter pikemen, and our skirmishers will move faster than pikemen. So we want to get some skirmishers going that we can take out with our knights so we can get rid of the pikemen. And so we're just going to drop a couple of archery ranges as well. We are up to 86 population. 86, he is at 64. We've got a 13 villager lead. We've got an army lead of 9, but we know a lot of his army is simply going to be pikemen, which are not a gold unit, and so they're not that strong, although they are good against cavalry. And so now we're coming forward. We're going to take our villagers forward, and we are going to try to drop a castle right in his face as we click up to Imperial Age. So forward castles can do a lot of pressure, assuming they can't get Treb down, but he can't get trebuchets until he is in the Imperial Age. And so now that we've clicked up, we feel pretty comfortable doing this. And we see a big army of his pikemen, but we know this is a fight we can take, especially since we need to protect our villagers. So we're going to come in with our cavalry. This castle's got to go up at all costs. We know it can deny a lot of his farms, his wood line, and it's just going to be a massacre. We don't lose a single knight. We actually don't even lose a single villager. And so our castle's going to go up, and our knights are just here to protect. As our priest comes out for the last relic, and as soon as this castle goes up, our thought process is, let's drop a siege workshop, let's build some catapults, and let's start putting a lot of pressure on the front of his base. So we hit Imperial Age. Now we're going to send our villagers right up here. We're going to mine his gold. So we've got the front of his base secured. And so why not go ahead and mine his gold? And as soon as the castle drop happens, as soon as we hit the Imperial Age, he's actually going to resign. And so we are victorious in this game. You might think it's a little quick for the resignation, but I mean, in reality, if you look at the score, we had a 2,000 point lead in the score. We had a villager lead. We have an army of 23 to his 2. We've got a 2-minute lead to Imperial Age, and we've got a castle in the front of his base that's going to be able to range his mill, his farms. So he could have drugged this game out, but in reality, he doesn't have any map control. His TC's placement are pretty poor. He's way outside of his base where he can't protect it. And so although he could have drugged this game out, this game was over, barring a huge mistake on our part. And so that's it. That's our first game playing as a cavalry civilization. It was a lot of fun to get out and play more aggressively. You can see the stats down here at the bottom. He got one more town center up than us. We had the same number of castles. He killed 8 of my units, one of which was a villager. I killed 31 of his units, 13 of which were villagers. I had 3 relics. Our idle TC time ended up being about the same because I did a pretty poor job keeping my town centers going once I was out attacking. So we're definitely going to have to work on that. But this idle eco time right here is big. And so I'm a little sad I didn't get the opportunity to mix my skirmishers in. I really wanted to see how that worked. But we'll see that in the future because I'm pretty sure this will not be the last time that I play as the Lithuanians. And so if you're watching, just drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you prefer seeing more of the aggressive cavalry style play? Do you prefer more archer play, or should we mix it up somewhere in the middle? So that's it for this time on this episode of Half and Half Gets Good at Age of Empires. Until next time, we'll see you later.